It's new from Lauren Daigle. Breakfast with Friends on your radio this Thursday morning, the 14th of March. And as always, it's an honor to have Nico Kleynhans in studio. Good morning, sir, and thank you very much for your time.
Good morning to you and also to the listeners. Last week was one of those weeks where I felt like a chameleon let loose on a box of Smarties.
Oh, dear.
Because there was good news and there was some bad news. And the bad news for me was the CIPC. And that is the Companies and Intellectual Properties Commission. That's a regulatory body, and their firewall collapsed.
Oh, no.
And it was breached, and tens of thousands of bits of information were stolen. So we now have a situation where the breach means that the directors of companies in South Africa, now their personal information was stolen. And because of that, the firewall had to be shut down.
Hectic.
Which means that those of us who legitimately had to have access could not do so. Which meant that the deadline has passed when we had to make reports and submissions to CIPC on behalf of regulatory bodies. Which means they now want to penalize us for not being able to load information which we couldn't load because they shut down the website.
You're kidding.
Wow. So, I mean,
right.
You sit there and you think, what does one do in a case like this? The regulatory body is responsible for the lateness. They are now wanting to fine us. How do we now deal with that? And that's when you end up feeling frustrated and angry. And then you get to when my electric iron blew up. And then I get to feel happy about that again.
Well, we bought an electric iron a year and a half ago. It cost us about 900 rand, and we chose that particular electric iron because it was the only one we could find with a 2-year guarantee.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money, but we bought it anyway. Now, whenever we buy an appliance like that, we take the box, we staple proof of purchase on the inside of the box, and we keep it in a special cupboard.
Makes a lot of sense.
So that's how we do it. So when the iron blew up, I knew there was a 2-year guarantee. All I had to do was to take the iron and the guarantee with the box back to the store.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was at home. So I went to at home, I presented the guarantee, I presented the broken iron, and the following happened. I was asked, do I want a refund of my money or do I want a new electric iron? And I said, I want exactly the same model. But by now, the model was going to cost 50 rand more. So the first thing they had to do was they gave me the new model. Then they had to discount that model to what the price was a year and a half ago, so that there was no cash difference.
Okay.
So I got my new iron, and now I had to get another 2-year guarantee all over again, because although it's a new iron, the guarantee has to apply from scratch.
Okay.
So 3 minutes later, I walked out with my iron, with my new guarantee, 3 minutes delay, no problems at all. And that's when the Consumer Protection Act kicks in and works properly.
Yeah.
So the secret is, when you do buy an item, find out what the guarantee is up front, keep the box, keep the guarantee in the box with proof of purchase, and that Consumer Protection Act really works well. It's one of the few bits of legislation that was well thought out, and it means you get the justice that you are promised, and the store, in that case, takes a knock, and the factory takes a knock. But those are your rights.
Yeah.
And it's good that we're then able to benefit from what the Act says we have as consumers.
Of course, the 2-year guarantee would have been void had you cut the plug off and changed it with another plug. There are some terms and conditions always with those things.
You know, that's why would one want to do that?
Exactly. So it's so important, and I think it's just so great to highlight this. Thank you so much, Nico. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.